Hello everyone, welcome to another tutorial video where we solve interview questions. This week's question, we got asked to write a function that takes one argument, which is sorted array of positive numbers in non-decreasing order. This function should remove the duplicates in place so that each unique element appears no more than twice. The relative order of the elements should be kept the same. The numbers that are duplicates, where there are more than two, should go to end of the array and be replaced with -1. So here there is three sentence that is important, and then that's what we are going to be careful about when we are solving the question. So let's take those sentences. So first one that we have to be careful is no element, right? No element appears more than twice, no more than two times. And the relative order of the elements should be kept the same. And then the numbers that are duplicates when there are more than two should go to end of the array and replace with -1. So here, so how we can do it? So first, to be able to achieve this one, we have to change elements according to their counts. So in the beginning of our solution, we will be finding the counts. But before we do that, let's take a look at the array and let's kind of understand what is happening here. What happened that we got the array from this to this format. So to find that, let's see. So first time I see the element, so this is first time I am seeing the 0, I just put it into new one. Second one, I see the element, I put it into the new array, and then that's good. So first time I see the 1, I put it into the next one, right? First time I see 2, I put it in the next one. Second one, I see the element, again, I put it into the new one. But the third time, where there is more than 2, when I see the element, I should put it at the end of an array. Okay, so again, for the 3, we see the 3 that's gonna go here, right? First time we see the 3, we add it straightly to the new array. In here, we see the second time is good with us, and then we place it into the new array. The 4, first time we see the 4, that is fine, we add it into the new array. First time we see the 5, that is fine. Second time we see the 5, that is fine again. But the third time we see the 5, we should put it at the end. And then fourth time we see the 5, it again makes the no difference. It should go to end of an array as -1. Okay, so now let's write down what we understand from here. Let's take notes that can guide us to solve this question before we start writing solution. These notes will be our guide when we are solving. So first, right, I should find the count of the elements in the array. Second, if I see the elements more than 2 times, I should place that element and put it at the end of the new array. Okay, these two will be very helpful for us. And let's go ahead. And Also, one more thing. So the relative order of the elements should be kept the same. Okay, we will keep that in mind as well. So since after we write the function, we might need to test it. That's why I'm gonna make my method static. But if you want, you can make it non-static, create an object and call it. Either way, it is up to you. Public, static, and I will return again output that is expected from me is an array. So I will return integer array and I'll call replace duplicates. I mean, it's triplets, quadruplets, but we'll just say replace duplicates for this solution as they give us. And this is the question that is asked exactly in this text. So replace duplicates, right? And then my duplicates will be coming from an array of numbers, right? Integer numbers array. So first, again, we should find the count of the elements in the array, but how we do that? So we use map to find the count of the elements from any given storage, like string, like list, like array, etc. So for this one, I'll create a map. So the thing that I'm counting will be the key. So integer will be my key, and then the count will be integer again. So my values will be integer in this map. Then we have to import it. And I'll say counts, and then equals to new hash map. So after Java 7, we don't have to put these brackets. So we are fine. And now, again, also I should put it into the new array, this element. So therefore, I'm going to create new array. But when we compare this to array, we see the size will not change because the after 2 times we see the elements, we are just going to put it at the end of an array and then make it -1. So my size of new array will be the same. And as you guys know, we cannot create an array if we don't know the size. So we should explicitly provide the size whenever we create an array. Okay. And I'll create my array integer array, and this will be removed array. I'll call it removed, and then equals new integer, and then now we have to give the size, and size will be same as the nums dot length. Okay, so I kind of get a good start. So let's see how we can actually find the cost. We have to look each element. So let's see. I will say for which loop I am going to loop. I'm going to loop in this given array. So that's why I'm gonna say for integer I equals 0, I smaller than nums.length, and then I plus plus. Here you can see this is our regular for loop through in the elements. So how can I see if I see the elements first or the second time, right? So we can understand, since we are going to store our counts in this one, can say if counts map does not contain the element, if counts map does not contain the element which is nums I, it means this is the first time I encounter this number, right? The nums I will be encountering first time because my map doesn't contain. If this is the first time I encounter this element, I can say if the counts doesn't contain, I will put it into the counts, and then I'll say put, and the key will be my element, which is nums I, and the count will be 1 because this is the first time I encounter this element in array. And okay, so what else should I do? So what we were doing, if you guys remember, first time we encountered the element, we place it straightly into the new array. Okay, I'll put it into the new array. How do I do that? Removed. Should I say dot add? No, right? We don't have that method in array. We have it in the list, but we don't have it in the array. So we have to provide with the index number. So what is the index number that I should put? I, but I is belong to nums array, right? So I cannot use it for remove. So this should be something different. So for that, before the loop, I can create one integer and I can say index equals 0. And I can say the first element I am going to put in this new array will be taking the index number, and then they will be equal to nums I. But now this space is filled, right? The index 0 is filled. So I have to move it to the next one. So I have to increase the index. Since I put it into removed array, right? I have to increase the index number. So then next time I can add it to the next space possible. We can do it this way, or we can be fancy and we can just say index plus plus. Since post increment will affect only the next usage of the index, we will be safe and our code will look better. Okay, and now, if it is the first time, I just added into the next. So what happens? What should I do if I see more than one? For this one, we will do something special, right? We're going to say, else if, okay, else if counts that so else if. So what is else if, right? Else if, so we check it if it doesn't contain the key. Else if will be, what if it contains the key, right? What if it contains the key? If it contains the key, it means we have to increase the count of the element because that is the second or third time we are seeing this nums I in the array. Therefore, I'll say counts.put which element I'm counting? The nums I. Okay. And then how many times nums I exist in the array? I don't know, but I can say this one. Counts dot get nums I will give me the how many times this nums I existed. And since this is the next time I'm encountering, I have to increase the existing count of the element. Okay, here everything looks good, but in here, what should I do, right? So what if it doesn't contain the key? How should I make this situation work? If it contains the key, the count could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know. What should I do? Look, if the count that we have for the element, if it is 2, if it is the second time we are encountering, we just have to put it into new array. So how do I learn the count, right? How many times, which time I'm encountering this element? It'll tell me, I can say here, if I am encountering this element second time, I should add straight to the new array. If I am encountering more than twice, I should add it at the end of the new array and make it -1. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So first of all, let's start with the first condition. What happens if I encounter the second time? So if counts.get nums I, if counts.get nums I equal to 2. Okay. If it is equal to 2, I don't have to do anything. I just should add to the next one. So I can say removed, because remember guys, if it is the second time we are encountering, we straightly add to the next array. So removed index as the reasons given again. So we just gonna say index plus plus. So next element can go to the next one. Next plus plus will be equal to nums I. So this is fair, right? And but what happens else if what happens the count is bigger than 2? So this is the third, fourth, maybe fifth, maybe sixth time I'm encountering. What should I do? So first of all, if it is the more than 2 times, right? Now count is more than 2 here, as we can see. We should first of all, we should convert element to the -1, right? So nums I in this case, since this is more than second time we are encountering, will become -1. The next, I should add it at the end of an array, right? So the -1 goes end of an array. But if I say, again, remove index, index starts from the beginning. So how I can resolve this situation? I create another index which starts from the end, okay? And then gets smaller every time we put -1. So integer index or -1, okay, will be equal to, it should start from nums.length -1. This is the last index in the array. So we can say index for -1 should start from end of the new array and go to the beginning. So, or in other words, it should get smaller each time we put -1. So we start to putting -1s from the end, and each time we put the -1, it should go to the here, so which the index for -1 will get smaller each time. Okay, so I need to use index for -1 to put the -1. So I'll say removed index for -1 equals nums I, right? As the nums I become -1 and we put it at the end. But each time we use it, the index number should get smaller. So as we did with the post increment, now we are going to use post decrement, and then this should be it. So if it is the first time we are encountering the element, we are just adding into the array as it is, right? No problem here. And each time we put the element, next element should go to the next box. So index number will increase, no problem on that one. And if count, this map contains the key that contains our element, we have two options. Either this is the second time we are encountering the element, either this is third time, fourth time, fifth time, more than twice we are encountering the element. If we are encountering the element second time, everything is fine. We use the first, because if we are encountering the second time, we are going to add it into the new array as it is. So if we are encountering second time, I will put it into the array, increase the index number, and then put the element, no problem. But if we are encountering more than twice, we should make the element -1, and then we should put it at the end of an array. And then each time we put it, the index number for -1 should get smaller. We start from at the end, we go to the left side. Okay, and then everything looks good. After the for loop, so by clicking the curly braces, I can find where it ends. So here I should return the array removed. And this should do the job. Again, so we take a couple notes here, and now we can call the method. So we are going to create a main method by using the main keyword if we are using IntelliJ. If not, if we are using text editor like Sublime, Visual Studio Code, we just have to write it public static void main string array arguments. So when I give this array, so let me give it, so I can say integer numbers, and then I have to make these curly braces. That's how we create the array with the elements. Now I'll say system out. I have to print the array that I'm going to return. So I have to use arrays dot toString method, and I will give the array that is going to come from my method. My method name is replace duplicates. Okay, so replace duplicates, and then give the numbers array. Let's see. So the expected result is this one. So here we can say expected result is this. And let's see what we are going to see. Here we can see we are getting a null pointer exception, and that's okay. We have to face with our mistakes. And here I can see that Java line 36 is giving me error. I click on it and it takes me on this line. What can give me null pointer on this line? So the null object cannot be 2, therefore I'm suspecting on this count.get nums I. So then why count of nums I is giving me null? Where is the last time I updated the count of nums I? And here on line 31, this is the last time I updated. There must be something wrong here. I'm putting nums I, and then I am putting count, and I have to increase it since this is the next time I'm encountering. And counts.get nums I +1. Oh, here we have to put this +1 outside of the parenthesis. So we can get the count of nums I and add the +1, and this should fix the problem. Let's run it and see. And here we can see we get our expected array. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any question, please comment below.